Welcome, Disney enthusiasts, to the Let's Talk Disney podcast. Time to delve into the latest trends, topics, and Disney Reddit realm. Here are your hosts, Samantha and Kindra.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 3. This is Samantha.
And Kindra, and this is Let's Talk Disney.
And we are recording from the parks today.
Yay!
It has been so hot. The humidity is like 80%.
Yeah, but there's overcast now.
There is overcast, but
that makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
And
That's nice.
There was a fire too, so the air quality is pretty poor.
That was close to Vegas. Mm-hmm. So actually yesterday they had the freeway shut down because of the fire, and it was uncontrolled. Mm-hmm. They opened it up, thankfully. That's probably one of my biggest fears driving out to Anaheim from Las Vegas every week are those fires, because like they can come across the freeway fast. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, I told Kindra, we were driving through Baker, if you're familiar with the drive from Las Vegas to Anaheim, and it was all foggy. I was like, what is this? She's like, oh, it's smoke on the freeway. And I was like, so there's a fire on the freeway and you didn't tell me? And she's like, yeah, we were still going to go, right? I was like, probably not, but at that far, we were too far in.
Oh, it's
so
too
just
late.
risked my life.
Too late.
For the Hatbox Ghost Sipper.
It's worth it, guys. It's worth it.
Speaking of Hatbox Ghost Sipper, that was crazy. We've gotten a bunch of those today.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, they're really cute in person.
They are.
To go with the new movie, yeah. So me and Kindra both went to go see the Haunted Mansion movie, but we've seen it separate. So what were your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. I liked it.
It was so cute.
I mean, I went with my husband, my daughter, my son, and his girlfriend, and everybody really enjoyed it. Even though they're not huge Disney fans, and they've probably only been on the ride maybe half a dozen times, they still loved it. We laughed. We thought the characters were phenomenal. We thought each of the actors and actresses were really, really well appointed.
I love how well they incorporated every single character and gave a storyline to everyone.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, Kindra didn't know that Haunted Mansion was a ride before it was a movie. And Pirates. I had to tell her that.
Okay, so I assumed that Haunted Mansion was a movie that I had missed like from a long time ago, and they developed a ride after it. So now that I know it was a ride first and they have to develop a movie after that, I think it's really interesting that they were able to develop these backstories, such elaborate backstories. And they are. Each of these stories are pretty elaborate in the way they come together. I think it was incredible. I thought it was really good.
Right. I agree. And I think the movie overall, I loved it. If you have not gone to see it, go see it. It is flopping in the box offices right now. I literally can't believe how poorly it's doing.
I just think it's because it's up against Barbie. And I know that, some people love Barbie, some people haven't seen Barbie. I thought it was cute. I saw Barbie. It was funny. It was definitely more adult than for kids. I mean, Haunted Mansion, even though it was a little spooky, I still think kids would appreciate it more. Mm-hmm. The music, the characters, they don't have the cussing. They don't have the, they don't have the adult themes, I think.
Right. So I'm reading just a news article from Disneyland News today. It says Disney's new Haunted Mansion movie only made about $24.2 million during its opening weekend. According to The Hollywood Reporter, as Barbie and Oppenheimer continue to dominate the theaters. What is Oppenheimer?
So Oppenheimer is it's a 3-hour kind of like a historic.
3 hours?
Yeah, it's a historical.
And that's beating Haunted Mansion.
So it's the same guy who did The Dark Knight, the same guy who did Interstellar, the same director who did The Prestige. I don't know if you've seen any of these. He's a phenomenal director. He's absolutely incredible. He did Oppenheimer, and Oppenheimer is about the Manhattan Project. And the Manhattan Project is about the development and the implementation of the atomic bomb. It's really cool. So it's very historically accurate. There are a lot of characters. It's extremely slow and extremely cerebral. Yes. My husband and son did not like it that much. I really enjoyed it because they time jump a lot. So they go from story to story, future to the past to the present. But I can see why people like it so much.
Well, that's good. You would like that kind of movie.
I thought it was intriguing. And a lot of people, you didn't hear about this, a lot of people did Barbenheimer, which
we
was...
do need to tell everybody really fast. We are in the parks. If you hear kids crying or any
It's not
loud noise, I swear our kids aren't tied to a tree. Like they're not our
like
kids.
usual.
We're just here in Disneyland. So any background noise, I apologize
Yeah,
in
it's the
advance.
real.
Sorry, there's a kid screaming behind us.
Not anymore. He's got his bubble wand. He's happy for a minute now.
Okay, perfect.
But Barbenheimer last weekend was the huge event where people were going to see Barbie and Oppenheimer in the same weekend, or like the same day. So like 6 hours at the movie theater, but it was like a huge event. You didn't hear about that?
No, I still need to see Barbie. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was good. It was cute.
But
it was
I
funny.
went opening day to Haunted Mansion because I'm committed.
Worth it. You know what was okay? So I know that you appreciate how authentic it is to the ride. Do you know how I appreciate it? It's authentic to New Orleans. And I know you haven't been to New Orleans yet, but I used to go all the time as a teenager and in my early 20s. And the movie really depicts, for instance, the funeral carnivals that they have. So when someone passes away, it's like a celebration of life, and it's a carnival. People go through the street and dance, and it shows them kind of burying people into the tombs that are above ground. Because of the water levels, you can't bury people underneath. So when if you did bury people in the ground and a flood came through, the caskets would like float up and float through the city.
Okay,
that
but
has
if you
happened during a hurricane.
bury them above ground, they're still going to float away, right?
No, because they're in tombs.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're in mausoleums?
Yes.
Mausoleums.
Not museums, mausoleums. Yeah.
I said mausoleum.
Just kidding. But they're entombed. Yeah, so it was just really accurate. I mean, New Orleans is an incredible place. Different, but incredible. Very haunted.
Well, yeah, no, it was really good. I think every aspect of it was really good. You know what? One thing that really burst my bubble, though?
Oh, no. What?
Regal had nothing. No popcorn buckets.
Oh, yes,
I seen
yes.
like Cinemax because I have the Regal Crown Club, so we can go see movies unlimited.
Unlimited movies. We have the same
Right.
thing, the Regal Pass, which is phenomenal. If you don't have that, get it.
Yes, but Regal had nothing. No popcorn buckets. Even I always buy my kids like the refillable popcorn bucket, right? Like just the paper one, just because I have 4 kids, so it's cheaper to do it that way.
Smart.
But it was just like a Regal bucket. There was not even nothing.
Well, you know, even for the Barbie movie, they had pink popcorn for a while. But I thought for sure for the Haunted Mansion, they'd have some sort of like hat box popcorn bucket, like at Regal. That would have been amazing.
Cinemax had a sipper, a Madame Leota
really?
Sipper, yes.
Oh, that would have been
but
cool.
It was selling out fast, too.
I bet.
I don't know, I think they're really missing a market.
A market,
there.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I think people would have gone crazy over that. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Okay, aside from the movies, since we both went to go see it today, we wanted to stay in the theme of Haunted Mansion. So today we went to Cafe Orleans and did the prefix menu.
Which we haven't done before.
I did it because Kindra didn't eat any of it.
I did. Don't lie.
Okay, you ate the gumbo.
It was very good.
The gumbo was delicious. It was. So basically the prefix menu, let me pull up the
And we
actual
do have pictures, so we'll be posting pictures of each of the courses that they serve.
And our reviews on our Instagram, so make sure you're following. So, but basically the prefix menu was $45 per guest. It included a cup of gumbo, a seafood boil. If you don't like seafood, you could change into any other entree selection, but we wanted to try the seafood boil just because it's what goes with the item. And then a vanilla mousse, and it even includes your fountain drink, which I thought was cool.
I thought that, it's
I
actually
hate
a pretty
when I
good
get
deal.
gypped on a $4 fountain drink. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like, really?
$4 drinks.
Anyways, but I was really glad that it was included in the $45 price.
That it made it, more.
Yeah, so it started with the gumbo, which was really good. It was a chicken gumbo. The chicken was super tender, and the sausage was really good in
Yeah,
it.
because it has that andouille sausage, which was a little spicy. Added some...
I didn't really find it spicy.
Oh, I mean, you can taste it in the back of your throat a little bit.
I think it depends on how sensitive you are.
Well, I'm not sensitive.
I don't know. All your senses are sensitive.
But I eat hot sauce and stuff, so I can appreciate that spice in the sausage,
Okay. It was a large portion. It came with rice.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good portion.
Yeah. No, it was really, really, really good. And then after that came out the seafood boil. I ate the seafood boil because Kindra couldn't even make eye contact with me. I was like literally sitting there trying to eat it, and I kept looking at her, and she would not look at me, look at my food. I was like begging her to try like a corn, a sausage, but because it was touching.
It's all riddled with clam juice. There was clam juice all over. It's all baked together. And I'm sorry,
I love
can't.
clams.
I understand, but when I smell something so pungent and strong, not that it's bad, but it's strong, I'm not able to get past that. And it's very strong smell.
Well, anyways, it was an okay seafood boil. I don't know where everybody's from, but in Vegas we have a place called Hot and Juicy, which would be similar to like the boiling crab in Newport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like a Cajun,
Creole,
seafood boil.
yeah.
And my husband and I go there pretty often. It's like one of our favorite meals. And this seafood boil, if you're used to eating seafood boils, you're not going to like it.
Well, I think that a couple things that you said was it was very limited,
well,
minimal.
And it was dry. Like, it had Cajun seasoning, but I feel like it needed more butter and like
And it
oil.
just had clams.
Yes, and I just couldn't believe that they labeled it a seafood, like a seafood boil, but the only seafood in it was clams, when usually like a normal seafood in a seafood boil would be crawfish.
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of crawfish,
But it would have
so I
been
wasn't
cool to have
missing
that,
out.
yeah.
Or shrimp. There was no shrimp in it. I really think they like missed that.
There were potatoes.
Potatoes, corn, sausage, and clams.
Mm-hmm.
And I love clams. They're like one of my favorite seafood. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I do. But even the clam quality wasn't there, I don't think. And also just sorry guys, again, we are in park, so if we take any moments just with loud people running around, we'll just do that. Anyways, I just felt like the seafood boil was missing a lot, on top of not having actual seafood in it besides clams. It was dry. It was spicy. I usually will do a more milder boil, but I really didn't like how grindy
Gritty?
seasonings.
Was it gritty?
It's because
Yeah.
usually like in a seafood boil, of course you have the Cajun seasoning
Right.
and things like that, but there's a lot of butter and oil in it, so it kind of like
almost
mixes.
soupy a little bit. This was not.
Yeah,
this
there was
like
no-
almost like a dry roast.
And I didn't even love the blend that they went
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
It's probably least.
I mean,
your
if you
least
don't
favorite.
eat seafood boils a lot, you might like it, but if you're like, I know good seafood, yeah, wasn't it? After that, we moved on to the mousse cake, which Kindra told me she was going to eat, and then when it came, she didn't eat it.
No, I did eat some of it. I just didn't eat that flan-looking part of it.
Flan. Okay, so back to the mousse cake. Yeah, it was a flan consistency. Kindra told me she was going to eat it before we got there, and then she didn't.
Well, they brought it out, and there was a candle in it, which was kind of cool because it's shaped like a.
Okay, the candle was green. Like, why couldn't they just put white birthday candles?
Okay, regardless, it came out like a lantern with a little handle, or like a candle holder lantern.
Right.
With a little handle, which was cool. It was made of dark chocolate. And so he lit it at the table, and it was kind of neat. We got some pictures.
Yeah.
But then we blew out the candle, and I did like a cross section. So I cut it right down through the middle and opened it, so you can kind of see all the parts.
I shouldn't have let her do that, because maybe if she didn't look in it, she would have ate it.
I looked and I saw everything.
And she's
It
like,
was
no, I'm
very,
not eating that.
very flanny.
Yeah, so it kind of tastes to me like a whipped icing that you would have on like cupcakes.
And
It
I'm not-
wasn't too
yeah,
sweet. It
yeah.
wasn't, but it was like that whippy icing texture. There was
Yeah.
a white chocolate cover around it with
Yeah.
that flan consistency. The dark chocolate handle. How was that?
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was a cookie underneath, which we couldn't really figure out what the cookie was. We asked the waiter, and they didn't really know what it was.
He
But
said
it-
graham cracker, but to me it tasted more like oatmeal. And you said something about nuts.
Almonds. Like, it
Almonds.
definitely
Okay,
tastes
so maybe
like
it
an
had
almond
almond
cookie to me.
extract.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything in there, but no, it wasn't a chocolate chip cookie. That's for sure.
No,
or a
but it
sugar
was
cookie.
good, and it
I
had
thought was
caramel
really good.
on it, and then it was sitting on top of raspberry puree.
Right.
Raspberry puree was good. I'm not really a big on raspberries, but it was good.
I think it was a big dessert for one person. Like you definitely want to split it with two people.
Yeah,
For sure.
but it was really good. So
all in all, this is probably one of the first times that we've actually sat down and had a full prefix menu here at Disneyland. What'd you think?
we've had other prefix menus like at Blue Bayou and stuff, but
Oh,
we haven't
that's
done
true.
it. We've never reviewed one.
No, okay, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't reviewed it.
But all in all, the gumbo was great.
Really good. That's
But
always
I
a
do
favorite.
want to like go back to a bowl of gumbo. Let me give you an exact price. You can go there, and your exact price on a bowl of gumbo is $8.
Which is, I think is good.
Which, yeah, that's a killer deal. So
Yeah.
I would go back and I would have the gumbo. And that's it. I think I would.
Well, okay, question. Is it the same gumbo that we'd get from, like, Jazz Kitchen?
I think Jazz Kitchens has,
Jambalaya?
no, they have gumbo too, but they have like shrimp and stuff in it. Both are really good.
Are you sure? I
Honestly, I'm not.
Okay, what about Blue Bayou? Because we've had their gumbo too. I think that theirs is the best, but it could be because of the scenery.
True. If you're just like living in Pirates, it just tastes better.
Yes. You can smell the Pirates of the Caribbean. Everything tastes better.
Yes. But I mean, all in all, it was a cool experience. I enjoyed Cafe Orleans. The service was really good.
Really good. Everybody was very friendly, very prompt. It came out very fast.
The ambiance was nice. So I'll go back to Cafe Orleans for a bowl of gumbo
Yep.
and something else on the menu.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try something else.
Yeah.
You know, I did, when I was looking through, they've got all those Monte Cristo options.
Do you like Monte Cristo?
I don't think I would. I haven't tried it, but
You might.
Okay, is it like a French toasted ham and cheese kind of?
But it's like a beignet with
Okay.
ham and cheese in it.
Questionable.
Questionable, but
Yeah.
you love beignets.
I love
so.
beignets, but I don't like ham and cheese in my beignets.
You never know. You never know. Yeah. So after Cafe Orleans, we went over and got us a couple Hatbox Ghost
Yes.
sippers, and
Really
that's
cool.
really exciting that we have to announce we are doing a giveaway.
Yay!
So somewhere in this podcast, we're
We got
going
an
to
extra.
say a code word. Everybody that sends us the code word is going to be put into a raffle. That means you have to keep listening. Don't
Right.
stop now.
Don't fast forward.
Yes, you can't skip anything. But everybody who sends us the code word, I'll enter them into a raffle, and I
Nice.
will draw the raffle on Friday morning.
Oh, perfect.
That gives
Exciting.
you all day
Okay.
Wednesday, all day Thursday to listen.
Okay.
Right?
And then what? They get the Hatbox sipper.
Ghost sipper. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. All right. Moving.
Oh, just real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, before we move on, because I want to talk about the Hatbox Ghost. Because Haunted Mansion was a ride before it was a story, you don't really get the full story until you see the movie, I think. What do you think? I mean,
Yeah.
did you get more of a full story?
Yes.
So Cassie, my daughter, and I were under the impression that all of the ghosts in there were kind of like dark kind of ghosts, or like upset to be there, or kind of not evil, but we didn't realize that there was one, and we won't spoil it, but we didn't realize that actually
one bad ghost?
one evil,
I never
and the
felt
rest
like the
of them
ghosts
were really
were
good.
angry. Like they're
Well,
so happy.
They're ghosts. Aren't most ghosts? I don't know. They're stuck
They're like
someplace.
materialized, right?
Yeah,
Like
I guess.
that would be me. Like instead of a material girl, I'm a materialized girl.
Material ghost.
Lies girl.
Materialized girl. Anyway, it was just really interesting. I can't, stress that enough. That the backstory is really cool, and you're going to learn a whole lot more. Everything comes together. It's awesome.
But like I said, go see Haunted Mansion because we really, really need to help Disney out in the box offices because they have not been doing well.
Disney doesn't need any help from us, but yes, we'll help them anyway.
All right, moving on to the news. Disneyland announced that its Fantasmic Nighttime Spectacular will not return to the Rivers of America until next spring.
Dang.
And that when the show does return, it will no longer have the Maleficent figure that caught on fire this past spring, Murphy.
Yeah, fires, unintentional fires, not good.
Not good.
Not good
But
for
Murphy,
Disney.
I love Murphy.
I know. Well, I wonder why they wouldn't
You're
bring
going to Paris and you're going to have a huge dragon.
Oh, good for
I'm
me.
jealous now. It's so sad.
I'll have to take a picture and send it to you, okay?
I know. In a statement, they said, our goal is to always deliver the best possible show for our guests. With that in mind, we are planning the return of Fantasmic with exciting new magic in spring of 2024. As teams continue to work on the show, we have launched a nightly entertainment spectacular on the Rivers of America, and we are working on even more exciting offers later this year. So their new offer that they offered was that we seen it on opening day. The performances by Queenie and the Jambalaya Jazz Band on the Rivers of America.
Yeah.
Remember
Oh,
we
I
were
saw
here
that
on
one time.
vacation?
Yes.
I was like, what is that?
And
that was opening day.
Right. The whole ensemble was actually out on the river. That was
Yes.
cool. That was the
was.
first time we saw it. I thought it was beautiful.
I know.
I liked it.
I can't. Like, I really appreciate what they're trying to do with Tiana and Splash Mountain. Cool.
You don't like the fact that the other one was completely destroyed, completely.
Yeah, and it's just like you're taking now Murphy away from Fantastic.
Right.
You took our Splash Mountain. Like, there's just too much change at once.
Do you think they'd have like a boneyard or a graveyard for all of the deceased, characters and themes and ideas like they do in Las Vegas, like the what do they have? The neon graveyard.
Yeah, that would be cool. But
I think that would be neat.
I know Walt Disney said that Disneyland will never be done. It'll always be evolving.
Changing, yeah.
But I don't like this, I don't think.
I know. It's hard.
We were over when we were at Cafe Orleans today. You could see Tiana's Palace.
Yes. Yeah, you could see parts of it popping up.
The whole top is popping up, which is
it looks
cool.
Beautiful.
The French Market, that could go. Let's make Tiana's Palace. That's going to be a really cool area. I also noticed if you go back to Tiana's little shop back there, they have, I never realized that they had actual drawings from the movie.
Yes.
Like,
is that Eudora's back there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
that is neat.
The drawings of Tiana were so cute.
I love that little shop because you actually do feel like you're in the streets of Louisiana, and there are little shops like that. They have all kinds of Creole seasonings. They have cookbooks. They have a really cool spirit jersey with New Orleans on the back in gold. It
doesn't even scream Disney, really. A lot of it is just like straight.
It
New
is.
Orleans. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, very Louisiana, very New Orleans. Very cool.
I don't know. I just feel like if you're going to take Murphy, you got to give me Splash Mountain back. I know we're too far gone, so you're going to have to bring Murphy back. I don't know what else.
I wonder if people were traumatized by that catching on fire or something.
Well, I'm sure. Could you imagine if you were one of the cast members? That was scary.
Yeah.
Like in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have a friend who is one of the princes at Disney World. If he was put in a situation like that, I'd be really sad.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's
scary.
That's dangerous. Very dangerous part of the job, and I don't think anybody signs up for that.
Right.
Unless you literally sign up for like a pyrotechnic
Well, I don't know. I guess if you're doing a show on water with fire, maybe you have to sign some consent.
I was going to say, you expect planned fires, but unplanned fires are not good.
Yeah, not good. So rest in peace to Murphy.
Aw. Poor Murph.
Bury his skull like in my grave or something. Her skull, I guess. She's a girl.
Jeez.
Just kidding.
You mean in your grave right next to Walt?
Yes.
Where you want to be buried?
If anybody looks for me when I'm dead, you can find me in Hollywood at
what park? What's the park? We always drive by.
I know, and I say you better make sure that they bury me there.
Yes, every time we drive by, Samantha reiterates to everyone, all of us, it needs to be in writing so it's enforceable, but she has to be buried next to Walt.
I mean, not right next to Walt, but,
just in the same area.
In the Hollywood Hills forever, Forest Lawn, the Forest Lawn Hollywood Cemetery. Okay. Everybody, this is public news.
Yes.
If my husband tries to cremate me or anything like that, cut him off.
No go. I'll dig you up and if you do get, I'll spread them.
No,
I'll spread
don't
them
let
in
them
the lawn,
cremate
the forest lawn. I'll
talked
spread
about this.
Okay, we'll talk about this later again.
Okay.
When we talk about all the haunted
Anyways, when I'm
stuff
dead, visit me at Forest Lawn. Bring the flowers, bring everything. Make sure it goes through, okay? All right, on to our next, Disney Reddit
Okay,
realm.
no, you know what? Before we do that, can I bring something up, please?
What?
Okay. Does anyone have experiences in certain shops or stores in Disneyland? I'm not going to name the shop, and I'm not going to name any of the cast members, but every time we go into one specific shop, and I mean probably the last 3 years. Do you think it's been 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Samantha and I come to Disneyland all the time with friends, and we shop a lot. We love Disney merchandise. Love it. We shop all the time. The cast members in this one store do not like us. And they gave us a hard time today about our credit card and our pass
and
matching.
They
ID'd us. Last week I tried to return something and they took my ID and credit card to the back of the store with them to get the return done. I don't know. We're not going to name any names, but I'm curious if anybody has any stores or cast members, always give them. I mean, you can tell us about the great ones too, because of course there are 1,000 wonderful cast
the world
members.
of Disney. So I feel like we went through a little bit of an era where, so I feel like we went through a time period right after COVID when the parks were reopening that they had to hire a lot of cast members, and the training was fast. So yeah, you weren't getting that experience that you were getting pre-COVID. Everybody was quickly trained, and cast members were kind of rude.
They were, or just,
well, not all of them, but there was
maybe
a
they were
large
understaffed,
group.
Overworked, and they weren't sure how to handle situations, and or maybe some of the Disney or the magic had worn off by then, or something. I'm not sure what it was, but there was a time of very high stress when you would go into World of Disney or some of the other places, and you did not feel welcome. Like, you did not feel like your purchases were appreciated, or you weren't getting any help. To return something was just, taboo. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like we finally got to a point where employees are nicer again. Like World of Disney, they're phenomenal. Emporium,
yes.
They're great. So anyways, I do feel like the cast members have been better since, since that whole short training time.
I think so too, yeah. And like I said, I didn't want to name any names or, say any shops. That's why I'm wondering if anybody else has feedback. And it would be interesting to see if we'd had the same experiences. And it's not that they are, the cast members in the store have ever been outwardly rude, but they are extremely put off by us and very aloof. Meaning,
I think just like when you have like
friendly.
Large purchases, they don't want to take the time to scan you in. If you want to buy Pandora, they don't want to take the time to look.
Right.
Oh, I guess I just pretty much revealed what store it is.
Right.
Well, there's a few stores that sell Pandora.
That's true. So that knocks it down to like 5 or 6 different stores.
Yes. So funny. All right. So moving on. There's like a whole thing going around Reddit, and I've experienced it. Kendra's experienced. I've kind of posted a little bit on our Instagram to just kind of like get other people's opinions, and everybody's opinions is pretty much the same as mine. The bench pin traders in Frontierland.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So right out of Frontier Mercantile, there's those benches.
Mercantile, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
Looks like Mercantile.
Right.
Anyways, they set up at those park benches. There's always a guy in a jean vest with pins all over it. Yeah. Really getting the job done.
A biker guy, but
covered in pins.
Yeah.
Yes. But they're kind of just like, I don't know, I had an experience where I went over there because I just kind of wanted to check it out. I had a couple pins, and they're like, I'm not interested in anything you had, and basically told me to leave.
Wow. So like, it's like a gang turf over there.
Literally.
Like they own that turf.
Yes. And if you
don't want to get caught up in the mercantile turf.
Like, they'll tell you to go fuck yourself.
Really?
Literally, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try it sometime. Like, I'm gonna come with like the worst pen.
No, it's not nice though. Like, I don't know how they get away with just like, okay, we're gonna take these benches every day. We're gonna be mean to you. Like, and I'm sorry, boo, but if you're wearing a jean vest or a leather vest with pins on it, you're not for me anyways. So,
what if this person is a friend of someone who's listening to this?
Tell them to be nice. I feel like I'm friendly.
That's the lesson. We are.
Like, you don't have to be mean to people.
No, but maybe it's just our faces. So you know how I say sometimes, like with my son on the basketball court, he's got a punchable face. He gets hit all the time in basketball, like beat the hell up. He's lost the same tooth 4 times. He gets, his chin got busted up the other day, gets knocked on the ground, literally punched in the face. Maybe you and I have like those punchable faces.
I don't know.
Because
I don't feel like that. I think I look mean.
Well, maybe they want to punch you, or maybe they want to be mean back or something. But you know the experiences that I have with people here in the parks. As nice as I am, like sometimes the interactions are really weird.
Really weird. I don't know. I kind of have the conspiracy theory.
What? Tell me. What's the what's the conspiracy? It's only a conspiracy until it's proven to be true.
All right.
All right, tell me. Okay.
You've heard that Wayfair conspiracy, right?
No.
Like, there's a whole thing on Wayfair that, like, they have, like, dressers and, like, things like that are going for, like, thousands and thousands of dollars, and it doesn't make sense for it to cost that much. But they're saying, like, it's a way that they're selling children.
What?
Yeah.
Like
this is an old conspiracy. I'm surprised you haven't heard this.
I think I heard this on, like, eBay, like, where they were trying to sell things really ridiculously priced.
But it's actually children if you, like, go into the...
What?
Yes. I think that might be what's going on with pins over there.
That is not going on with
how much
pins.
is that pin actually worth? And are you trying to sell me drugs?
I was going to say, it might be drugs.
I'm like...
It might be drugs.
I'm like, what are these pins actually?
Okay. Now, not to get off into a different subject, but I used to know people who were Hard Rock. You know Hard Rock Cafe? Mm-hmm. They used to trade pens, Hard Rock Cafe pens, all over the world. Like, they literally all over the world. They had these albums and albums and albums, and they were like huge conferences. I don't know if anybody else was into Hard Rock pens, but it was massive. It was all over, and they were serious. And it was serious trading that would go on. Like, and they were worth a lot of money, thousands of dollars for these pens. And I think by the time they sold their collection, or they eventually got divorced, but by the time they got divorced and sold their collection, I think it was probably worth close to $50,000 in
God.
Pens.
That's crazy.
So it's serious. Maybe
and not
that's why
children, right? Real pens?
No, not drugs. I don't think.
Not drugs, not children.
I don't know. I can't say for sure.
So funny. But okay, so pin trading, right?
Yes.
You know, you go up to the boards, you can switch out your pin on the board. Well, pin trading started when DCA opened, like back in the 90s. And originally, when they like brought pin trading into DCA, they had cast members wear lanyards with pins, and there was a huge issue with groping.
What? What do you mean?
Men were like grabbing women's boobs. Yeah.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. Like pretending to go after their pins or something?
Yes, but touching their boobs.
What?
Mm-hmm. So that's when they started like bringing those pin boards in.
I bet.
Yeah.
Cast members were like,
I want that pin.
Yeah. I don't get paid enough for this shit. They're like, go feel up the boards.
Yeah, but I guess on those benches, they took those boards to a whole nother extreme.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's okay.
I don't know. I just don't like the flea market vibe over there. I'm not trying to make a deal. You're worse than a car salesman.
Wheeling and dealing over there.
Literally haggling me. I'm like, excuse me, no loitering.
But you do see people over there like dealing, like wheeling and dealing.
But those people,
pins.
if you get to that bench first and you're gonna display yours, if somebody like they're like, I'm not interested in what you have. All right. Like, right?
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not.
And they don't want money. They want the pins they're looking for.
Right. They want a valuable pin. So
I just wish they could be nicer. That's my only ask. I actually did go over there today. It wasn't as bad. There was actually some nice kids there. They must have beat the guy in the jean jacket.
The guy in the jean jacket's all pissed off because he didn't get his spot in the corner.
Man, those were my benches.
And today was a pretty good day. We always like to do a couple of decent or nice things while we're in the park. And one of my favorite things to do, just to make myself and you and everybody in the park happy and feel better, is if we do get the sippers or if we do get popcorn, we do like to give it away. And sometimes people will decline it, but a lot of times people are really surprised and happy, and especially with the kids, if you're able to give a bunch of popcorn away. You know, if you have a ton of popcorn. We did give a ton of pop, and you even gave some water away from the sippers, right?
Which is
really
hot.
Nice. Yeah, it was a hot day, and I think a family was going to try to split a couple bottles of water or something, because when you $4 a bottle. Water bottle.
They're more than that, aren't they? Like $5?
I don't know.
Almost $6?
I try not. I just bring my hydro flask. But if let's say you've got 4 kids and everybody goes through a few bottles of water, that really adds up. So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, they were happy.
Away some water, but yeah.
All right, moving on to Am I the Asshole?
Yay!
But it's time for the code word for the giveaway.
Oh, okay.
I really thought hard about what word I was going to pick.
Oh, no.
Are you ready? Smoogly Bear.
What?
Smoogly Bear.
What is that?
It's from like Monsters, Inc.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's what they call, like, Mike Wazowski. His girlfriend calls him that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Woogly bear.
Oh, God.
Say woogly bear for an extra point. No, just kidding.
Smoogly bear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's the code word.
Message me on Instagram or Facebook for your submission, and then I'll draw these Friday morning.
Nice.
As many smoogly bears as I can get.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's get into the topics this week for Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for leaving my wife alone at Disneyland?
Oh, I don't think so. I can already
let's
say.
Get more.
No, I can already say that would be fantastic.
Please leave me alone here. leave your credit card and be gone. Just kidding.
Take the kids with you. Leave me.
Anyways, okay. Am I the asshole for leaving my wife alone at Disneyland? So, my wife and I are currently not talking to each other because of what happened the last day of our vacation. On the last day, we went to Disneyland in Japan.
Oh,
that kind of changes
so
things,
Tokyo.
right?
So this was Tokyo,
Yes.
Disneyland Tokyo.
We have been in Japan for 2 weeks, and up until then, everything was pretty much okay. We had a lot of fun traveling around the country. We're from Europe, by the way. In the afternoon, as we were waiting in line, she asked me to tell a joke. So I told one. That joke apparently hurt her feelings, and she was upset and quiet.
Sorry, that's not funny, but I don't know if my husband's ever told me a joke that makes me mad. Maybe just the act of him telling me a
Does Carrie
joke.
even tell jokes?
He does, and they're dad jokes. Okay, but he gets mad if I don't laugh, so I have to laugh.
Okay, anyways, I told her I was sorry, but she didn't accept my apology. She told me how hurt her feelings are and that I shouldn't be telling jokes like that. I was pissed. Why couldn't she just let it go? So I stopped talking to her, and the mood worsened, and she suggested that we separate for the moment so everyone could calm down. After about 15 minutes, she sent me a text message asking me to meet up. When I met her, we got into a huge argument where she told me she was sad because there's always a little bit of truth behind a joke and how my joke ruined her mood. I asked her why she always felt the need to push it, and I told her I was sorry before. I told her that she was no fun to be with, got up, and left the park.
Oh.
She sent me a message asking me if I was leaving her alone at the park, to which I didn't reply. She called me and was crying on the phone. I asked her if she could finally pull herself together. She didn't reply. I asked again, but she only asked, crying, if I was seriously leaving her alone like that and to stop yelling at her. She drove home mad. She apologized for calling. I told her, nice try, but that's not working, and we hung up. I went back to the hotel, and when she came back 3 hours later, she didn't talk to me. She took a shower and then told me she couldn't believe that I left her alone at the park in a foreign country with no cell phone. Her cell phone died after our call. That she didn't know how to get back to the hotel. The park was hours away. When she finally found the hotel, that she couldn't get in because I had both the keys. So she had to ask other people to help her up, and she felt abandoned by me. We had another argument. I told her my view, and she suggested we put the matter aside as we had a long day a long way home the next day. We've been home for 2 days now, and we only talk to each other the bare minimum. She only told me that her trust in me was completely broken and that family never leaves someone behind, especially not in a foreign country, that I didn't care about what happened to her. I don't think I did something wrong, question mark. Maybe I really shouldn't have left her behind like that, but she kind of deserved it.
Whoa, holy crap. This guy is brutal.
She should have just accepted my apology and pulled herself together.
Okay.
Am I the asshole? Yes!
Yes.
I'm sorry. If George left me in freaking Tokyo, a place I couldn't even speak the language with no phone.
With no phone and hours from the park. I don't care what happens. You're not leaving your wife. You're not leaving your kids. You're not leaving your mom, dad, brothers, sisters, friends.
Well,
no, you're not leaving anybody.
Could you imagine how I would have reacted if that was me?
Oh my gosh.
I'm scared.
No, I know. You're scared of the dark. You're scared of foreign countries. You're scared of...
I'm not scared of foreign countries.
Well, being left alone in one? Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's literally one of your fears.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
So that would be a hard pass on that. Yes, she has every reason to be upset for being left, especially, and he thinks he did something wrong. It would be different if he was saying, I feel
I wonder
so
what
bad.
the joke was. Like, I wonder if they're...
And really, isn't that irrelevant? I think they may need marriage counseling if a joke caused all of this. Obviously, there's something deeper. You know how I am.
Well, and he doesn't
Every
want to
time-
say what the joke is because it probably was mean.
Well, maybe
right?
mean, it may be offensive, but if something like that caused a huge blow up like this, there's something deeper. You know how I feel. These superficial things are always signs of something deeper. Always. A joke is not going to cause you to abandon your wife in Tokyo. Can you imagine?
Tokyo.
Can you
and
imagine?
I wonder, like, what he said to hurt her feelings. Like, it must have been something mean.
Well, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I mean, if he's willing to leave her at a park in a foreign country, he's probably willing to insult her. But I'd like to know the joke too. And did she blow it out of proportion? Who knows? I don't know.
So the comments on the post are, as soon as the joke wasn't disclosed, I knew it was an automatic, you're the asshole. And then it got worse. He hates her. Wow. I've read so many, and then the next person said, I've read so many of these, and the OP is the biggest asshole I've ever read about. I can't fathom that he even had to ask. Like, what did he think he was going to get on here and get reassurance? He's like, no. Everyone's like, no, bro, fuck it. Leave her there. Leave her in Tokyo. Like, you should have left her on the streets. Like, what?
That's why I'm wondering, like, who are the people that are, I don't know. I mean, do they post these just to get that online abuse? Like, just bend over and take all that abuse because
It's such a joke.
no, that's a big no. You know, and not just because don't leave your wife or your friend or your kids or anyone you love anywhere. Don't abandon them anywhere.
But basic girl code. As far as, like, Kindra and I travel together. We've traveled all over the country together.
Yes,
and
all the
we
time.
don't leave each other behind.
No,
ever.
Never.
Now you're going to leave your own girlfriend behind?
Or wife?
Well, wife, whatever.
Right, whatever.
Like,
well,
my wife, yes.
Or ex-wife now, I'm sure. Dude, she's going to be in Tokyo with another husband really soon.
George, if you're listening to this, if you leave my ass in Tokyo, we're going straight to divorce court.
I'll go after George. I'll take care of George if he ever does that to you, George. So let this be a warning.
It's funny though, because if you left Carrie in Tokyo, it'd be the same way. Kindra would be the one leaving Carrie in Tokyo.
Oh my goodness. I could never get Carrie to go to Tokyo. Are you kidding?
Could you imagine the plane ride for that long with his long
his
legs?
long legs. My husband and son are so tall they get stuck in the Matterhorn and Splash Mountain to where they have had to have cast members pull them out of those rides before. So ergo they cannot travel very well on planes so that wouldn't even happen. No. So
Could you imagine
sure,
Carrie and Colton in Tokyo though with their height? Like everybody would be like looking at them.
They would be asked if they played basketball, I'm sure. You play basketball?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, so overall review, you're the asshole.
Yes. Yeah, and there's some deeper issues there, man. You guys, you need therapy or something. That you just don't do that. Not only that, but imagine how guilty he would feel if something did happen
and what if
never
her phone died and like she really couldn't find her way home or to the hotel
and someone took her. I mean, he never saw her again. I mean, if I were her family and something happened, he could be like negligent. Like you could sue him for negligence. Like in a civil court if something happened to her. Yeah. Wow. Leaving her as a husband without any resources in a different country, 100%. Yes. So.
Yeah, you gotta go. You're canceled, sir.
You gotta go.
All right, next topic. You're reading this one.
Okay, I need my reading glasses. Hang on.
You lost them? I told you to bring them out before we started.
Well, I brought 2 pair, but now I can't find either.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Found my sunglasses. All right, here we go. Found my reading glasses. All right. So on to the next Reddit topic. We are going to read this one. Am I the asshole for letting my 4-year-old use all of his money to buy everybody else meals and gifts while we were at Disneyland? This is interesting. Okay.
4 years old?
4 years old.
Okay.
Using all of his money. I took my kids to Disneyland Paris for a week. With 2 of my friends and their kids. My oldest is 4, but he gets a monthly allowance from his dad that he can, in theory, spend on whatever he wants. The allowance was my husband's idea because I told him he was spoiling our son, but I personally don't think this is the best way to teach him about money. While we were there, my son kept wanting to use his card to pay for things, and even though I tried to explain to him that his money would run out, he kept insisting and saying it was okay. When his money ran out, he told my husband over FaceTime because he couldn't get the toy he wanted. Oh, that totally sounds like a 4-year-old. My husband was really upset that I had let him use all of his money on other people, especially since he spent it on food. He told me that wasn't what his allowance was for and didn't want to listen when I told him he was the one who said our son could use that money on whatever he wanted. He told me he was going to put more money on the card and was insisting I let our son buy the things he wanted, and got angry when I pointed out giving him more money was defying the whole point, especially since I was planning on going back to get him the toy anyway. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
I just don't think that children understand like amounts of money before kindergarten. They don't.
Yeah.
They can't add and subtract like that.
No, they can't.
And two, like the fact that the kid ran out of money and couldn't even get himself anything. Of course, he's a gentleman. He's like, oh, let me pay for this. He probably sees his dad do that, right? Like he probably sees his dad like, oh, I'm paying for the meals. Like, and he was just trying to be a gentleman, but he doesn't actually understand the concept of money yet. So I think she could have easily like taken her card and been like, okay, buddy, you paid for it, and just pretended like he paid for it.
Okay. Listen, I know 4 is young, but you got to start lessons somewhere. And you know how I am with my kids with money. We go off, we have budgets. I taught them about tax very early.
At 4.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
And you don't know how fresh of a 4-year-old he is.
Course,
He could have been like 3 turning 4.
Okay, I understand. But you know how stubborn kids can be. If they have a card and they want to spend their money, you're right, they have no idea what they're doing, but he's being stubborn. He wants to spend it on other people. Is it out? Maybe. I mean, it ran out of money. I think what I would have done is then when he did want something for himself, she probably should have just gotten it. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that
I definitely don't think the mom's an asshole.
the mom's probably like walking by a popcorn station. She's like, oh, I really like that bucket. He's like, I got it, Mom. Like, she knew what she was doing.
You know what? Hold on. Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing?
Yes.
If your son is like, you know what, Mom, that's what you want, I'm going to buy that for you. That's actually a good thing. Maybe the kid regrets it later.
I want you to think to like, we've been going on Disney trips since my daughter was 4, right?
Okay.
And it was before she started kindergarten. And a lot of times for her birthday, what would you give her when she was younger?
A gift card.
To Disneyland.
Yes, right.
And now what if I'm like walking by this spirit jersey and I'm like, oh my God, I love this. And Paisley's like, I got money, Mom. And I spend your gift card that you bought her on a spirit jersey for me.
That's none of my business.
That's rude.
Wait, who's rude?
The mom. The poster.
But we don't know exactly what was spent. We don't know how much the kid really wanted to do it.
They were buying, and especially spending it on food. Like, for a kid, like, food is just a general necessity.
Okay, question. Did the father give an outline of what he wanted the money spent on?
No, he said it's for his son.
Okay.
Not for everybody to have meals on Dad. Like, what?
Okay. Listen, I think a lot of this comes down to like communication. Again, oh my gosh. Every single one of these comes down to communication, except the dude leaving his wife in Tokyo. There's no communication that's going to fix that. Just don't do that. But this is all communication. Communicate with the child. Let them know you spend the money, it's going to be gone. Do you still want to spend the money?
She tried to explain that, but he doesn't. At 4, you don't understand.
So are you going to tell the kid, no, you cannot spend this money on other people. You have to spend it on yourself. And then the kid melts down. And then for the rest of their life, they won't buy anything anybody else.
Swipe your card. Like, thanks, buddy, for getting this
maybe.
for everyone.
I mean, maybe that's a good
card.
Okay, maybe that's a good way to be creative. But is she the asshole? No. I don't think that
I'm disagreeing.
defines the mom as an asshole.
I'm disagreeing.
I think some of these are a little harsh. I think it's harsh. I wouldn't call the mom that. Listen, she and her kids are in Disneyland Paris.
I just got shit on.
So did I.
Oh my God.
At the same time.
God.
Okay, guys, so we are literally sitting outside of
oh my God,
Earl's.
all over my fuel run. No. Oh my God. Well, apparently the universe did not agree with the mom being the asshole because I just got shit on by a bird.
This is not the first time this has happened, just so you know. Remember when Earl was down at the other end and I got shit on down there? Do you remember that?
Roll of sandwiches. I literally can't believe this shit. Literally shit.
I'll go get us some napkins, but I can't.
It doesn't seem even white. Okay, we gotta go. Thanks for tuning in to episode 3.
Wait. Don't forget the code word. Did you guys hear the code word? We're not going to say it now. You got to listen to the whole episode.
Don't forget your code word. I should have changed it to shitty because I can't believe we just got pooped on. Happy Disney days, y'all. We would like to take a second to thank our members on Patreon and a special shout out to Mindy Mendoza for supporting our show. Your support will ensure that the podcast will continue and that we're able to bring the latest news straight from the park. If you would like to become a member, head over to our Patreon that we've included the link below in our show notes.